Alright, so what's up guys? So we are out here on another run, out here doing this craziness for all of you guys to simply sit back, watch, and enjoy, right? That's what you do best. So for you, one big thing as we are changing the song is your confidence, right? Your belief in yourself. And for many, it's something that's almost a requirement, right, for success, right, if you want to make it and whatever it is that you're doing. So in regards to yourself, you want to figure out how to boost it, how to raise your confidence level, because everybody's got one, right? Whether you like it or not, you're going to be confident to a certain extent for yourself. And don't worry, because we are going to give you 4 tips in order to boost your confidence. And as far as tip number 1 is concerned, we are going to tell you that it is through repetition, right? It's the mother of all skill. Repetition is the mother of all skill. And in regards to your confidence, right, your belief in yourself as far as doing a task, what better help could it be than you just doing that task over and over and over again, right? Almost like until you feel like you're beating a dead horse. And from doing those things over and over again, that repetition again and again and again, you're going to develop these brain and neural pathways, right? Your body and your mind are going to have an easier time wrapping themselves around whatever task it is that you got to do in order to get what you want. And by your extensive practice, right, you doing that thing over and over again, it's going to remember, right? Almost like think about shooting free throws, right? Why do NBA players practice doing the same motions over and over again, right? Why do they not drastically vary their free throw routines? Because they want to keep it the same, keep it consistent. Because if they practice that same routine when it comes time for the game, when there's 30,000-40,000 people screaming at them and trying to make them miss, it'll be just like another free throw. In practice, it's the same motions, but it might be a little bit harder, right, to remember what to do. So when you do that practice, when you do that repetition, that task is going to be a lot easier to remember because you've done it so many times. So when you see these players step into these massive arenas, they look pretty much unfazed, right, by all the noise and all the hoopla and all the pressure, right? Make or miss. Because sometimes if they miss these free throws, it can be very costly for them. And the team, it could cost them the game. And hey, what's going on? And from that, a lot of pressure can be put on them. And if that person isn't confident, they're not going to do well, right? It's going to phase them. It's going to pull them off, their focus. And they're not going to do what they're supposed to do. And that's go through the same motion and shoot that free throw and make it go in. So learn that, right? So, right, if you want to become a super massive bodybuilder, that you got to do the repetition of those exercises. You got to do that bicep curl 1,000,000 times, that bench press 1,000,000 times, so you can get good at it. So it can be like second nature to you. Right? You don't even have to think about it. You just do it. And before you know it, you're going to be hitting new PRs and new records. And that is going to make you even more confident. So, that coincides with tip number 2. As far as boosting your confidence is to, remember your successes, right? Remember your achievements, because they can keep you going, right? They're a reminder of what you are and what you could be. And, from that, you're only going to keep going forward. As we got sunblock in our eyes, and man, does that hurt. Woo! Yeah. Sorry about that, but we got sweat in our eyes and we can't see a thing. Man, and does that hurt. So, you know, for you, don't be concerned, as we gotta keep going. We gotta keep staying on this run and continually brush our eyes from the sunblock, because damn, does it hurt our eyes. So, you know, for you, as far as continually raising that confidence, remember the things you've done before, the things you've done in the past, because those things are a constant reminder, you know, of what you gotta do to keep being successful, to stay on it. And, you know, from that, you're only gonna keep getting better. It's only gonna keep getting easier, because you essentially know the process and you know the outcome, right? How great it felt, you know, when you won that prize, when you hit those marks. And then from that, you're only gonna get better and better. So it's like a cascading effect, right? A domino effect, right? Your success today carries over to tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And before you know it, people are gonna look at you as a successful person, someone with a lot of achievements, right? That has done a lot of great things for themselves. And then, you know, from those positions, you can educate and inspire others. And that's tip number 3 in order to boost your confidence. Because I don't know about you, but when you go up and teach people new things, you instruct them as far as, you know, whatever your craft is, right? For some it's, you know, medicine or law or biology, whatever you're doing. If you go and you tutor some kids, it's gonna make you more confident about biology, whatever you're doing. So, you know, from that, take that into account. Think, you know, how can you teach other people, right? Because when you go and you're the lead person, right? Because that's what's required of you when you teach, you're gonna have to be confident no matter what, because if you're not gonna be able to teach those people, and you're probably not gonna be in your job for very long. And then from that, you know, you only gonna get more and more confident from that. So bad, we are battling a war with sunblock in our eyes right now, but we will be good. We will be all good. It's okay. We had to take the glasses off because we think that, like, our glasses are full of sweat, so bear with us. We'll be okay. And now we will spring forward into the next topic for all of you. And, you know, as far as, you know, a lot of things too, you learn a lot about your craft by teaching, right? So many things, because oftentimes when we go and we learn these things, we become the student, right? Always being the student, always trying to learn. Well, that's good. Oftentimes when we're the teacher, we are forced to reflect on ourselves, and you know, it could really point out your flaws and your strengths even better. So you know yourself more, and you're better able, you know, to see what's good about you and what's bad about you. And you know, that even goes into tip number 4 as far as boosting your confidence, and that is to know yourself. Know what you're good at, right? Have a huge self-awareness. Be proud of your strengths and know your weaknesses. Know what you have to work on. And you know, yes, while they may be weaknesses, you know that you got to work on them. You got to get better at them, because you know, over time, you know that you're gonna get better at them just by simply working at them. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, you have flaws, but you know, it's just some work to be done in certain areas. And then, you know, from that, you're gonna be more confident, right? Because you're gonna know yourself better, and people are gonna be more able to look up to you. And then from that, you know, we are also gonna say that, like, when you know your strengths, when you know what you're good at, don't be arrogant, right? Don't be cocky, but you know, be proud of what you've done, right? No, you know, if someone were to ask you, right, you're a big shot lawyer, you got all these degrees and all this paper for being an attorney, but you know, if someone asks you, hey, you know, go and fight this case, right, you're gonna be confident on it because you know that law is your strength. But if you're a lawyer and God forbid someone told you, hey, go do this surgery, this heart surgery on this individual, you're probably not going to feel so confident about it. But you can be confident in telling that person and knowing yourself that, hey, there's some work that needs to be done. And yes, while I can give it my best shot, this is me and I'm proud of what I've done. Right? You put yourself on the table and, you know, leave yourself open for others to criticize, because oftentimes we can get too caught up in the successes and failures. Right? The successes can feel so great that when you come across failure, it can feel horrible, and you may want to avoid the failure at all costs. But that can mean, you know, avoiding doing what you're supposed to do, and that's practice and get better and work on yourself. And, you know, that rejection can make you not even want to participate at all, because by participating, you're susceptible to that rejection. And, you know, from that, you almost feel vulnerable in a sense. So in order to be confident, you can't be afraid to be vulnerable. And from that, you are going to be able to show people your true colors, show them who you are, and don't be afraid of it. Like just like now, we had a huge incident with sunblock getting into our eyes, and man, was it painful. You know, I easily could have stopped the video and screamed and yelled and said, oh my God, this feels horrible, but we kept on trudging, and we still are, because we know that we got goals to do. We're confident in who we are and what we've done in the past, and you know, it's only up from here. And yes, while there are down times, while there are times where you might not feel up to par, the only thing that matters is the work that you put in. So from that, you know, we hope that you're able to enjoy these 4 confidence boosting tips, and you know, goodbye.